Hi, it's Xavier, and we're in the latter part of summer, last day of August actually, and we're in my bonsai retreat. What a strange thing that is. And you know, I keep going on about the leaves and stuff on my Satsuki Azaleas, and it's been worrying me, and I can't seem to get a definitive answer. I see some of these coloured leaves on other people's Satsis, or Satskis, or Satsukis, and I just haven't got to the answer of it. Now, the one thing is when you look in the soil on this, small, tight, compact. Slowly over the last year, I've been moving my other Satskis into slightly bigger pots, and I've been holding off on this one. But you know what? I'm not going to do anything radical with the roots, but I don't feel confident this might necessarily get through the winter with this shallow, narrow pot. So all I want to do is have a little root around in there, get rid of a lot of these leaves. I'll get up close so you can see what I mean about the discoloration. I mean, to be fair, they've got healthy heads on them, so this could be just all of this year's growth falling off, because that also happens. But either way, I'm not happy with this pot, so I'm going to do a slip pot. It's not an emergency repot. I'm fairly confident that we're at the latter stages of when I could probably do this. I'm not going to muck about with the roots a lot, but I just want to change its environment a bit and see if it does better for it. And this is what I'm talking about. There's got black spots on them, yellowing, and I think that's that can show, if it's yellow in the middle, it could show overwatering. That's distinctly possible, especially when you look at the state of the soil. But there's some nice green growth as well there, so I'm not. It's been like this several years. I think the answer is the actual potting medium and the shallow pot. Very green, very dark, compact. I don't think there's much. I mean, the balls haven't. Dougie's balls have been there for a long time and been left alone. No tree isn't touching them. So I want to get this into a bigger pot. I think rejuvenate the soil a bit and see if that helps it. Looking at it, there's not loads of root growth. I mean, that should be absolutely padded with mattings. That should be absolutely riveted with roots, so to speak, and it's not. So I'm just going to carefully remove weeds. And as I say, this is probably later. I wanted to do this. I actually wanted to do this in July, but I wasn't sure. This is the best of my Satskis. That's the only thing. So I've sort of, I think also because we've got this great big root mat, I've never really got to the centre of it or anything and tried to sort it out, and that could be another issue. It could be that water's just not getting down into the central core. This is really brown soil, and not good. Okay, well that was quite a bit of poking and tugging. Got a good base of roots there. I've been poking a lot more into these areas here, tight in there, and it was very, very compact. So I'd imagine nothing was getting there. It's just around the edges. So what I want to do is continue to encourage these roots to continue to expand out. So a nice deeper pot should hopefully make all the difference. Lots of soil in there, lots of insulation against either extreme heat or extreme cold. Well, that's the plan anyway. So I'm going to pot this up, wire it in loosely. That means I've got this lovely pot here, another Dawn Isaac ceramic, for a tree that's a lot more near finished. Okay, so I've got a mixture of 70% Kanuma and then my usual mix of bark and stuff like that, but heavily Kanuma based. For the pH, mound it up. What I want to do is just make sure the roots that are there nicely out, nicely spread out. As you imagine, the amount of soil that's actually used for this, definitely 2 or 3 litres, which again gives you a really good idea of costs, because even if you can get stuff in bulk, that's a lot of soil. As I said, Kinuma, very, very soft soil. What we don't want to be doing is crushing it, but we do want to make sure that, as always, we are getting it into all those little crevices and nooks and crannies where all the air likes to hide. Now I've sat it on a mound, so I'm pretty confident that there's nothing actually underneath, but what I do want to do is, where I've been digging it out, make sure these get in there so we get maximum contact. As I say, what I want is the mat to grow a lot further out this way. I'll carefully secure this down. Now obviously, as you know, the roots are very, very fine, so this is a gentle, very gentle process. If I had two thin strips of bamboo, I could have actually tied these to each end and used the bamboo to actually hold it down tight rather than risk going through the roots, but a bit like that, and then you tie this down and hold it in. But I haven't got any strips made up yet. That's something I'll do through the winter, but that would have been the best way of doing it. Right, well, there it is. I didn't take off roots particularly. There was some that came away. I did a lot of trying to dig into that central core to try and loosen that up. Obviously remove weeds and moss and stuff that was growing around the tree. I won't take any foliage off. I'll let those leaves drop, and then I'll just see if this makes a difference. I mean, 70-80% Kinuma there now, a lot bigger space, makes the tree feel better, to be honest. I think in comparison to that, if I was honest, I didn't like the colour with it anyway, but it just felt too crammed in. So I think that'll sit well with a Chinese elm or something. But there it is. So that's my the biggest Satsuki Azalea, and probably the one that has pride of place. I know for a fact there was someone who quite rightly made comments that I should cut these a lot further back so that we can get budding a lot closer in. And you know what? If this looks good next year, which I hope it will, then, you know, come the flower drop next year, I don't know whether this will produce, I will be cutting these a lot closer and try and get a lot tighter foliage growth on. So, hopefully, short but sweet, but just to show you, you can actually do your repots at this time of year. You just have to be a little bit careful, and certainly with the azalea, I'm even more confident that it should be fine. Truthfully, I think all that growth is going to be okay as well, and it's only going to go on to bigger and better things. So, with the sun now shining firmly off the left-hand side of my head, and sporting a brand new skinhead cut, courtesy of Katerina and the shears, I say thanks very much for taking the time to watch. I wish you all the best, and be assured that I'm enjoying 29 degrees Celsius weather at the moment, and we're going to have that all week. So this is our September heat wave, which is normal for the UK. We always get it, regardless of what other people might suggest on the news. There you go, I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on in a minute, you watch. So yeah, all the best, happy bonsai, and God bless. Cheers.